What's good, my fellow peasants? How you all doing? Why is Cloud so skinny? Is Cloud too skinny? Why have they made Cloud so much thinner in the FF7 remake? Now, these aren't my questions, guys. These aren't my words. These are the questions of a lot of people that I have seen regarding Cloud's character model on the internet, as well as other queries about his eyes, certain points that have been made on other character models in the remake. I'm going to quickly cover them, clear up some of the confusion for anyone who is confused, give my own personal peasantry opinion, as well as move on to some other really cool shit regarding the remake. So let's do it. Let's buckle up some remake goodness. Let's go. So when the second remake trailer come out, what a fucking shocker that was. Was not expecting an actual gameplay trailer so soon after the original announcement. I think that nearly shocked sort of everyone that Square were actually much further in development than sort of anyone anticipated, and it kind of confirmed what the cheeky magnificent fuckers had said, that they had sort of known about the remake for over a year. And besides that second trailer being the absolute nuts, it was a dope trailer. I think most everyone thought it was solid. One point that did get discussed quite heavily from it was, why is Cloud so damn skinny? It created a lot of confusion, in some cases rage, which that's just beyond fucking surreal. Now I'm going to cover the reason for why you should actually be pleased. It's actually fantastic. I know that might seem a strong word, but it actually is fantastic. Why it's a good sign, and just try to help those who are genuinely perplexed by it. So Cloud is much skinnier than normal. Let's just lay that on the line. Let's get that out there. Let's put that out in the open. And when I say normal, I mean as to what most people envision Cloud as being. And what do most people envision Cloud as? Of course, in HD is going to be Advent Children Cloud, Dirge of Cerberus Cloud. What most people, funnily enough, don't actually envision is original Cloud, because anyone who makes the claim that he looks too skinny in the remake clearly can't quite remember what he looked like in the original. Here it is. He was pretty damn skinny. In fact, I'd say he is actually probably skinnier in that picture than he was in the remake trailer we saw. Now, there's a very good reason for that, guys. I'm just going to go over it and why people should actually be pleased that Square Enix are doing it like this. Firstly, the guy's just come out of a Mako tank. He's just come out of a Mako tank that he was trapped in for 4 years. So on that premise alone, after 4 damn years, he is looking in pretty damn good shape. Second reason, he was never a soldier. Cloud was never a soldier. He failed. He was too weak to pass the soldier exams. So really, he was a poorly trained soldier from the go. So of course, he's not going to have much muscle mass or strength. No, he failed because he was too weak. And thirdly, not only has he just come out of a Mako tank, the third reason is he's just travelled half the globe on the run. He's travelled all the way from Nibelheim to Midgar on the run, and just before this moment, where we see him at the train station, going on the first bombing mission, he's just dragged his arse across the most harsh and barren landscape. Midgar waits for days in the scorching sun, no fucking food, and that is why when Tifa finds him at the train station, he's practically half dead. So guys, for Cloud to look anything but ill, to look anything but malnourished, to look anything but weak or skinny would not be faithful to the story. So that's what I meant when I said it's actually fantastic that Square Enix have made Cloud look like this, because it shows faithfulness to the story. And I'm kind of surprised that people have forgotten that, because that was in the original. I can kind of understand this next point, because technical limitations meant we sort of couldn't really see eyes. But the other one, I'm just going to quickly go over this quickly. It was the eyes. People kept asking, why are they green? Why are they green? Over and over, Cloud's eyes are blue. Why are they green? I remember it because when the remake videos came out, I pretty much was sitting in the comment section for a month. Like literally, I lived in the comment section of the remake videos, set my camp up in that motherfucker just so I could ride the hype wave for weeks and weeks. And people kept asking, why are they green? Why are they green? Why are they not blue? So I'm going to cover it real quick. His eyes are blue. In fact, all soldiers' eyes are blue. Now that's where Mako eyes is actually a term in the game, and every soldier has them except Sephiroth, who has green because Sephiroth is not enhanced the same way. There are two types of enhancements in FF7, well actually there's three if you count G cells, which Genesis have, but the two main ones are S cells and Genova cells. They derive more or less from the same origins. The difference is S cells are a scientifically manufactured enhancement, sort of version of it to create super soldiers, a watered down version of Genova cells, or a derivative would probably be more accurate. Whereas Genova cells, that's the hard shit. That's the hard shit that comes straight from Genova herself, and both types of cell are administered to humans alongside Mako, via Mako. Now, typically the harder shit you take, the more Mako you're injected with, the stronger you are. So that's where the ranks come from: third class, second class, first class. If you're first class, you have the most S cells in your body, the most Mako in your body, and that is why Sephiroth, who has been experimented on since before birth, the strongest of all the soldiers, his Mako levels are through the fucking roof. He has, no, he doesn't have S cells. S cells actually came from him. He has Genova cells, and that is why his eyes are green. And that's significant about it. No, they're not doing it for no reason. Eyes are a plot point in Final Fantasy VII, and that's why Cloud's eyes are green. He's been in a Mako tank for 4 years. He's severely Mako poisoned. Unlike Sephiroth, his body cannot handle those kind of levels. His body's trying to reject it. So throughout the game, guys, Cloud's body will clear up the Mako. His eyes will return to blue, but the Genova cells are there for good. I say his eyes will clear up to blue until he fucking falls into the live stream again. Duh. And that is what is great about this remake, guys. No, that's why it is good. Things like this, things like eyes that can be explored a lot more, can be used, implemented. For example, I could well imagine that as Tifa helps Cloud from his Mako poisoning the second time, which she does, she helps him by going into his consciousness and helping him with his identity crisis. That is evidence that Mako poisoning is linked to a mental state. She helps his Mako poisoning by clearing up his mental condition. So what I could actually imagine, guys, this is where I'm going with, is if Tifa helps Cloud the second time, maybe Aerith helps him the first. Imagine it, because if he's poisoned in Midgar, which clearly he is, perhaps when he opens his eyes in the remake, when he falls through the roof into Aerith's church, and sort of Aerith is looking after him, perhaps he will open them to blue again. Now think about that. That would actually be profound, a meaningful tie, sort of Aerith helping. It would tie with the love triangle of both women being Cloud's salvation, and that's why it's fantastic. Shit like that can be explored. And it's the same with Cloud's size. Things like making him thinner and ill looking at the start. It's actually a good thing. It demonstrates faithfulness to the story, which I'm just going to say from the trailer, it is so evident, even down to when they blow the Mako reactor avalanche, when they're trying to get out, even to where they stand the characters. It's literally faithful to where they stood, like Wedge is at the door, so when the door explodes, he'll be the one who can run out with his arse on fire. Like, they've literally looked at everything scene by scene, so they've demonstrated real faithfulness to the story, and making Cloud not necessarily look like some really fucking hench, muscly, sexy badass, making him look fucking ill and frail is actually part of the story. And that was why I personally, while some people were raging, I was thinking, yes, Square, that's exactly it. I would expect no different. What I think is Cloud's not going to stay like that. I think throughout the game he's going to improve, he's going to get better, and I think his size will increase slowly, gradually through the games. Remember, we've got multiple games. There's no reason why he can't gradually sort of fill out a bit. And now I'm not saying by the end of the last game he's going to be Jay fucking Cutler. You know, Cloud's always been a lean guy, but I do think he will bulk up a bit, you know, as he gets better. And I mean, it can even be a cool thing, you know, as we level up, our team strengthens, they could even make Cloud physically strengthen, physically improve throughout the game. It could be a progress thing. And I have a cool theory on how they might do that, but first I'm just going to cover another question I've been getting asked by actually some of my subscribers. That question is about Avalanche and what do I think of Barrett's sunglasses. Now with Avalanche, I'm not even going to go into it. Jesse, Biggs and Wedge, and just how fucking hyped I am at how great they look. Like, if I talk about it, I'll fangirl about it all day, especially Jessie. Don't even get me started. You can see she's my logo picture. You know I fucking love Jessie, guys. The way they made her was exactly how I envisioned her. You know, she's this tomboy, but she's still... See, I'm doing it. I'm talking about it. Basically, just know that seeing how good Avalanche looked, it has made me so hyped to see the other character models for the rest of the team. It's not even real. Now, as for Barrett's sunglasses, here's what I feel. Would I have chosen to put Barrett in shades? No, I wouldn't. Do I think he looks good still? And can I get on board with it? Yes. I'm not going to kick off, even if he does have them sort of the entire game or all of the games. But this is the other thing. Just like Cloud's size and his frame, I also think that will change, and I actually think that will change. I think the reason for that is it would tie with Barrett's character development. Barrett starts off as this gruff, mean, closed-off jackass, but then he later goes on to actually become, you know, the person in the group who is probably shows the most compassion and sort of the most burden of his guilt than anyone. And that's what I loved about him. That's what I loved about Barrett. Now, that's what I loved about FF7 the most, guys. FF7 was just great that way. It took archetypes and it just flipped them on their head with nearly all of the characters. I mean, Tifa, for example, the busty barmaid fighter, the hottest chick in video game history. Stereotype would dictate that she would be the flirtatious bold one, right? No, she's actually not. She's actually the most timid and modest in that regard. Like, she's extremely timid and shy. Whereas Aerith, the sweet innocent one with sort of the whole sacred ancient princess thing going on, she's actually the bolder and more forthcoming with expressing her desires. And I just love that. Or even Yuffie, the unruly brat, no, she being an actual princess of possibly the most disciplined nation in the world. They just flipped archetypes, guys. That's what I loved about it. And we could interpret Barrett's sunglasses as just another way of Square emphasizing his base archetype, sort of being very closed off. But will it change? Will that change? Will the glasses come off, you know, as his character develops? I hope so. I really do, because, you know, it would be cool for it to transition like that, for one, and for two, because let's face it. Let's face the facts. Wearing sunglasses throughout an entire series of a game, it becomes your cliche. It becomes your cliche. It becomes a bit of a joke, especially when places like Midgar have no sun. It becomes a running joke, and unfortunately, that joke is taken in FF7. I mean, that joke is taken by Rude. Rude's sunglasses. It really did become part of his sort of stereotype. It became his comedic input to the comedy duo that is Rena and Rude. I fucking love those two. Cannot wait to see them in the remake. So you can't take that away from Rude. Like, that's his thing. You can't make it Barrett's. So I could be wrong on this. No, perhaps Barrett will keep his shades. I just think sort of my idea would be better. And, you know, perhaps Cloud will stay the same size throughout. And even if that's the case, I'm still not bothered. I'm personally completely okay with that. One of the quirks about Cloud was always that he was a lean dude, able to throw a ridiculously massive sword around like it was fucking paper. And that was one of his things. That was the thing about Cloud, you know. And perhaps they're making sort of Cloud this size. Perhaps they're just looking to exaggerate that idiosyncrasy a bit more. And I'm cool with that. If Cloud does stay skinny throughout the games, I'm really not bothered. I don't see why people get worked up about it. I don't get how some people can genuinely say it only now looks stupid. That Cloud can wield a Buster Sword with such ridiculous ease. People are saying that, like, oh, now it's stupid. Now it's stupid. I mean, what? Is that how it works? Is that how it really works? So this Cloud, yeah, you can wield that Buster Sword. Yeah, that makes sense. This Cloud, what the fuck? No, that's totally ridiculous. Like, how does that work? I mean, really, what is the difference? 2 inches of bicep, is that the difference? Is that the make or break difference between wielding a fuck off hunk of metal like a diaper? Is that the difference? Is that all it would really take for me? No, for me personally, to convince you that I can cut through fucking buildings? Just a couple of weeks of chicken breast and some bicep curls. Is that all it takes? I really don't think it matters. I don't think I'm cool with it either way. But even though I'm cool with it, I still do think it will change. Some of you might cleverly point out, and I've considered this point, is Peasant. I don't think it will change. We got the Kai Arts figurines announced, and Barrett had his sunglasses, so I don't think the sunglasses will come off. Now, I've considered that point, and this is actually what is pretty fucking cool. And even if we just go to Cloud's figurine, by the way, quickly, he actually looks a little bit bigger, a bit more filled out in the figurine. So even that kind of supports what I'm saying, that I think that as his condition improves, he'll sort of get a bit more muscular throughout the game. But Barrett's sunglasses, now that we know the FF7 remake is going to be 3 full games that are about 50 to 60 hours in size, or I think we can make a good guess at that, because Square, like I said, they said it's going to be roughly the size of the 13 trilogy. That's what they quoted. So I think it's a fair guess to say 3 full games that are about 50, 60 hours long. But does anyone think, then in that case, I'm asking this question, does anyone else think it's then possible that between each game, if they're going to be about a year or 2 apart, that we could expect character model changes? Just like the 13 trilogy. I mean, look at Lightning, look at her 3 Karts figurines. No, 3 really fucking awesome Karts figurines, 3 really dope costume changes. Snow had 3 really cool outfit changes. I like all of Snow outfits. Even the fucking beanie, honestly, his first outfit, I like them all. So guys, that got me hyped. Could we expect that for the FF7 remake? You know, could we expect them to transition? No, let's say Tifa. I've said from day one, I really want Tifa in her original outfit, but perhaps just because we don't see it, if we don't see it in the first game, that doesn't necessarily, we won't later see it happen. Or fan demand won't make it happen. Or similarly, if she is in her original outfit, that's not to say she won't have some really cool other brand new outfits in the game. That's what's dope about the remake, is we can probably guess that we're going to get to see multiple different character models, multiple different outfits. I've only just considered that recently, and that is fucking dope. That's it, guys. Really just wanted to express an FF7 remake hype. It spiked and I needed a way to express it. I don't think Square have put a single foot wrong with the remake. I really don't. Like, everything I've seen shows faithfulness. Everything I've seen has made me personally feel confident that Square are taking such huge detail and care with the remake. And while some people spin them as negatives, I just see them as positive. Cloud being skinny, that's a fucking positive. Cloud having green eyes, that's a positive. The remake being in 3 installments, or 4 installments, or 2 installments, whatever, that's a fucking good point. And Kitase has said we're going to get to explore more of the universe. It's going to get expanded. More questions are going to get answered. More people are going to get stage time. You best believe Zack's one of them. They've already confirmed Avalanche. And that's fucking dope. Come on, make Jesse the 4th side of the love square. I really do. Hope they push that, because I always kind of got that vibe. And other things I've said from the start, I really want to know the origins of Genova. There's so many things that they can explore, and that's what's dope about it. Like I said, other aspects, like Mako eyes, they can be toyed with, played with, twisted, changed, enhanced, made better, made cooler. Things that the original could not do. And that's the point of the remake, guys, is it not? To do things and explore things that the original could not. That's the point! That is the entire fucking point. Why do you just want a rehash of the original? Why do you want Cloud just to look like fucking beefy Advent Children Cloud with blue eyes? No, that isn't it. That's not the way. I am the shepherd, and I am here to guide FF7 fans back onto the path. I think most of you here are already on the same path as me. I'm so hyped for remake. It cannot come any sooner. It really can't. Like I said, I've been petitioning for this for 10 years. If I could honestly put myself into a coma and even miss, I'm gonna say it, this is painful. If I could skip FF15 and World of Final Fantasy at the expense of being able to play the remake tomorrow, oh shit, it would be the hardest decision of my life, but I think I'd make it. I am that excited for the remake. It has been like a lifelong dream for well over 10 years to have that in my hands. And everything I am seeing in the remake as a massive FF7 fanboy has filled me with nothing but confidence. Let me know how you guys feel. Let me know what you think. Until the next video, guys. Kupo!